in a blink of an eye. It was the day of the online dating meeting. Jesse and the housekeeper helped him try on a number of outfits. But on this day, Philip only let the housekeeper follow him. He didn't let Jesse follow him. While waiting in the restaurant, Philip looked very nervous. He kept asking the waiter for a drink. It was almost time for the appointment. But that's when he called Jesse. He said he was going to get some air. He still wasn't prepared. This moment, he chose to avoid it. But on the way out, he passed his pen pal, waiting for Jesse. They chartered a plane. On the plane, he asked the flight attendant to take out an envelope. Inside was the payment for the painting. Philip helped him sell it for 10,000 euros. Jesse was overjoyed. It was the first time he'd ever been paid for art. The two of them went to the base of the skydiving accident. Philippe wanted to take Jesse to experience the joy of being shoulder to shoulder with his son. Philip enjoys the thrill of gliding. Only this kind of extreme sports to let him forget about his physical disability for a while. And Jesse also from the beginning of the shouting chaos to enjoy the blue sky and white clouds cheer. The two of them returned home. But then Jesse's brother came looking for him. He was out fighting with others and was afraid to go home. After putting his brother in his room temporarily, Philip called Jesse over for a chat. Jesse then talked about his family. This was not his real brother. He was also an adopted child. His adoptive mother had remarried many times. He had adopted many children as well. He had several siblings to take care of. Philip knew that Jesse couldn't be with him forever. He needed to take on the burden of his family. The next day, Jesse packed his things and prepared to leave. He said goodbye to the housekeepers. Philip saw Jesse's back through the window. He was sad to see him go. Jesse went out and saw a car blocking the door again. But this time he didn't use violence. Instead, he reasoned calmly with them. After being around Philip's for so long, Jesse's personality is gradually changing. After he left, he came with his brother to pick up his mother from work, and he found a new job. Using his artistic training around Philip's, he succeeded in getting the interviewer's attention. But after leaving Jesse, Philip found a few more caregivers, but they were never Jesse. Seeing him in a cold white coat, it made himself feel like he was in a mental hospital. Tempers were getting hotter and hotter. He even grew a beard. At night, Philip had another attack. The caregiver who came to him was also driven out. He had no choice. The housekeeper had to call Jesse in the night. The two old friends, when they met again, Jesse began to laugh at his beard, knowing that he was in a bad mood. So he took him out for a drive. But because the car was going too fast, they were spotted by a traffic cop. Jesse then made a bet with Philip in the car that not only would the traffic cop not find them, he would personally show them the way. When he got out of the car, he was pinned to the hood of the car by the traffic cop. At this point, Jesse shouted that there was a patient in the car. He was speeding because he was in a hurry to send the patient to the hospital. Do not believe you see the trunk. When the traffic police opened the trunk, sure enough, he saw a wheelchair. Jesse immediately turned the tables on him, loud and fierce. The traffic police said, "If the treatment you can afford to take responsibility." And Philip immediately cooperate with the foaming at the mouth. This acting skill is really great. This scene directly to the traffic police stunned. Immediately said personally to show them the way to the hospital. Just like that, the traffic policeman was leading the way. They were so nervous. The two of them were in the car, playing high music. They drove all the way to the hospital. After sending the traffic cop away, the two of them drove around in the car. Jesse took him to the beach for the sea breeze. Philip was in a much better mood as he chased the sea breeze, showed a long-lost smile. Then he started to shave him. He also shaved Philip's beard like this, and this. The two of them had a good time, and then they cleaned up, took her to a restaurant. That's when Jesse told her, "You have a date later," and got up to leave. A short time later, a woman walks up. It was the pen pal who was stood up by Philip last time. He and Jesse looked out the window. Jesse also knew that she had to face her life alone. At first, two people with very different ways of thinking and values. As they grew to know each other better, they became lifelong friends. For people with disabilities, no pity is a higher form of respect. This film is based on true events, and the two real-life characters still maintain a close relationship today.